Imagine standing on a pristine, sun-drenched beach, the cool salt spray kissing your skin, while a warm, tropical breeze carries the scent of wild eucalyptus. Now, imagine doing that on a completely new beach every single day for the next 27 years. It sounds impossible, a trick of the mind. But here in Australia, with over 10,000 spectacular beaches tracing its coastlines, that is a literal reality. But step away from those turquoise waters, and you quickly realize this place is built on a scale that is hard to fathom. Deep in the arid, sun-baked heart of the Outback, there is a boundary, a colossal barrier known as the Dingo Fence. Stretching over 5,600 kilometers, this massive structure is longer than the entire width of Europe. A silent, lonely line cutting through the endless red dust. This is a realm of beautiful paradoxes. Out here, 50 million kangaroos hop across the scorched plains, easily outnumbering the human population 2 to 1. You can feel the intense, radiating heat of the desert. And yet, just hours away, you can hear the mist dripping through ancient rainforests older than the Amazon, or feel the crisp, bite wind of snow-capped alpine peaks. But the true soul of this land isn't just in its wild landscapes, it's in its ancient heartbeat. They have walked these lands for over 65,000 years, leaving their spiritual history painted on timeless sandstone. Australia is not just a country. It is an entire, breathtaking world waiting to be uncovered. Our journey begins where the modern world meets this ancient shoreline, where a glittering metropolis rises from the edge of the Pacific. We're descending now, looking out the cabin window as our plane banks sharply over the Pacific. Below us, the ocean fractures into a glittering maze of golden sandstone cliffs and deep, sheltered inlets. This is New South Wales, and right there, emerging from the blue, is Sydney. We touch down at Kingsford Smith, the engines roaring to a reverse thrust, and the moment those cabin doors open, it hits you. That crisp, salty sea breeze mingled with the warm, electric energy of a true world capital. We're wasting no time. We jump straight onto a local train and head to the beating heart of the harbour, Circular Quay. The sensory overload here is instant and absolutely intoxicating. Listen to the low, rhythmic hum of diesel engines as the iconic green and yellow ferries churn up the emerald water. Smell the unmistakable tang of fresh salt water mixed with the rich aroma of roasting coffee from waterfront cafes. Gulls wheel overhead, while buskers fill the air with acoustic melodies. To your left, towering glass skyscrapers pierce the bright southern sky. But our eyes are pulled somewhere else, somewhere legendary. Walk with me down the eastern promenade towards those famous, gleaming white sails. Up close, the Sydney Opera House is a flat-out architectural marvel. It doesn't even look like a building. It looks like a fleet of stone ships frozen mid-voyage, floating on the harbour. Watch how the bright Australian sun glints off the million self-cleaning tiles, casting a brilliant, blinding light across the cove. And then, You turn around, and there it is. The coat hanger. The colossal steel arch of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, stretching over 1,100 meters across the water. Its raw, industrial majesty. A monument of human grit that connects the bustling city center to the shores of the north. But Sydney isn't just about modern steel and shimmering glass. Just a short walk from the water's edge, we slip away from the crowds and step back in time. Welcome to the Rocks. Walking through these narrow, shaded cobblestone alleys, you can feel the heavy weight of history. Long before it was a glittering global hub, this very shoreline was a rugged convict colony, built stone by hand-carved stone by the first European arrivals. But even deeper than that colonial past, these ancient sandstone paths belong to the Gadigal people, the original stewards who walked this land for thousands of years. The air here smells different, cooler, rich with the scent of old brick, damp earth, and wood smoke from historic pubs. It's a beautiful, haunting contrast to the glass towers just blocks away. But the city's concrete canyons cannot hold us. Just beyond the horizon, a strange, indigo haze is rising from the canopy, beckoning us into a realm of myth and shadow.
We hop off the ferry, grab the keys to our overland rig, and point the hood due west, leaving the glittering sprawl of Sydney in our rearview mirror. Within 90 minutes, the highway begins to tilt upward, carving through rugged sandstone corridors. The coastal humidity drops, replaced by a crisp, sharp mountain chill that hits you the moment you roll down the windows. Take a deep breath. That scent? It's pure medicinal eucalyptus, thick and intoxicating. Look out over the horizon. There's a strange, otherworldly blue haze draping over the canopy like a silk veil. This isn't smoke. It's a living phenomenon. Millions of ancient eucalyptus trees are releasing tiny droplets of oil into the warm mountain air, scattering the sunlight in a spectrum of soft, luminous indigo. It's absolutely mesmerizing. We pull up to the edge of the world, Echo Point. Step up to the guardrail and look down. The ground simply vanishes into the colossal depths of the Jameson Valley, a dizzying abyss of sheer, golden sandstone cliffs and endless green canopy. And there, standing proud against the elements, are the Three Sisters. These three towering rock pillars rise like silent guardians from the valley floor, their weathered orange sandstone catching the brilliant, fiery rays of the sun. There is a deep, ancient energy here, a spiritual weight you can actually feel in your chest. To the local Aboriginal custodians, these silent stone giants aren't just geological anomalies. They are living memories of the Dreamtime. Legend tells of three beautiful sisters turned to stone by an elder to protect them from a tribal battle. But the spell was never undone. As the wind howls through the deep gorges below, you can almost hear their voices whispering through the trees. From these misty, haunted heights, we trace the ancient spine of the coast northwards, toward a place where time slows down and the bohemian spirit of the ocean takes over. We're spinning our wheels back down from the cold mountain ridges, pointing our overland rig north along the legendary Pacific coast. Feel the air change. The crisp mountain chill melts away, replaced by the warm, thick, salt-heavy breeze of the ocean. We're cruising past endless stretches of sun-drenched beaches, rolling green hills, and sleepy surf towns
until the road leads us into a place that feels less like a geographic coordinate and more like a pure state of mind. Welcome to Byron Bay. This is the Bohemian capital of Australia, a sanctuary where the rebellious, free-spirited energy of the 1960s hippie movement never really died. It just evolved. Step out of the rig and let the rhythm of this place wash over you. There's no rush here. You'll see locals walking barefoot down the main street, sun-bleached surfboards tucked under their arms, their hair crusted with sea salt. The air is a heady mix of burning incense, fresh ocean spray, and organic garlic from local farm stalls drifting from the cafes. It's a town that begs you to slow down, to breathe deeper, to trade the relentless chaos of modern life for a simpler, more authentic existence. But to truly feel the magic of Byron, we have to chase the light. We wind our way up the spectacular headland, climbing through dense coastal rainforest until the canopy parts to reveal the iconic, stark white tower of the Cape Byron Lighthouse. Standing right here, on the edge of these dramatic, wind-swept cliffs, you are officially standing at the absolute easternmost point of the entire Australian continent. Look out over the sheer drop, where the deep turquoise waters of the Pacific slam into the ancient stone below. This vast blue highway is teeming with life. Peer closely into the sunlit waves, and you're almost guaranteed to spot pods of resident bottlenose dolphins playing in the breaks. And if you're lucky enough to be here during the winter migration, look further out. You'll see the majestic, explosive breaches of humpback whales on their epic journey. It's a deeply humbling sight, but this coastal serenity is about to shatter as the quiet surf gives way to a glittering, neon-drenched concrete jungle rising directly out of the sand.
Crossing the state line into Queensland, the atmosphere shifts instantly. We're pushing our overland rig further north, chasing the warm, sun-drenched energy of the Sunshine State. Soon, the wild coastal highway gives way to a sprawling, sun-baked concrete playground. Welcome to Brisbane. A young, dynamic metropolis that doesn't just sit next to nature, it curves around it. Look at how this city is built. It snakes along the massive, looping bends of the Brisbane River, creating a spectacular, fluid skyline that feels alive. There's a laid-back, infectious rhythm here. The air is warm, smelling of sweet frangipani blossoms and fresh brewed flat whites from the riverside cafes. But the absolute soul of Brisbane lies right across the water, in Southbank. This is the cultural beating heart of the city, a vibrant maze of world-class art galleries, bustling open-air restaurants, and lush green parklands. But we can't linger too long, because just an hour south, the quiet river bends explode into a wall of neon, glass, and absolute adrenaline. We're hitting the Gold Coast, and nothing prepares you for this view.
It's a jaw-dropping contrast of elements. Imagine a golden ribbon of sand stretching as far as the eye can see, met by crashing, world-class surf breaks on one side and a soaring wall of glittering skyscrapers rising directly out of the dunes on the other. This is surfer's paradise. The iconic, high-energy capital of the coast. You can feel the electric thrum of the nightlife starting to wake up as the afternoon sun casts massive shadows of the towers across the sand. It's wild, it's loud, and it's beautiful. But our engines are idling, and our journey north is about to get a whole lot wilder. Just beyond this high-rise paradise lies a wild, shifting labyrinth where asphalt ends and a world made entirely of sand begins.
Leaving the glittering towers of the coast behind, we're trading asphalt for deep, unpredictable, wild sand. We steer our rig onto the ferry, watching the Australian mainland slowly shrink into a thin blue line on the horizon. Ahead of us lies Gari, the legendary Fraser Island, the largest sand island on Earth, and a place that feels completely untouched by the modern world. As the ferry ramp drops, we lock our hubs into four-wheel drive and roll out onto a world made entirely of silica. This isn't your average off-road track. This is 75 Mile Beach, a literal highway of golden sand where the ocean waves crash right up against your tires. Feel the adrenaline as the cool salt spray hits the windshield and the tires grip the shifting terrain. It's raw, it's thrilling, and it is the only way to explore this wild paradise. But the real magic happens when you turn inland, into the heart of the island. Suddenly, the blinding beach light fades into a deep, humid, emerald canopy. We're hiking through an ancient rainforest, but look closely at the forest floor. There is no soil here. These towering, prehistoric satinay and brushbox trees are growing directly out of pure sand. It defies all botanical rules. The air here is heavy, smelling of wet moss and sweet eucalyptus, with only the echo of the wind through the leaves breaking the silence. Following a winding track deeper into the dunes, the trees part to reveal Lake Mackenzie. And trust me, this view will stop you in your tracks. This is a perched lake, filled entirely with pure rainwater, slowly filtered over thousands of years through the sand dunes. The water is so impossibly clear, so vividly blue, it looks like liquid glass. Kick off your boots. Feel the powdery white silica sand squeeze between your toes, and dive in. It is incredibly refreshing, a natural spa in the middle of the wilderness. As the afternoon light begins to soften, we make our way back to the shoreline. And there, trotting silently along the dunes, we spot them. A pair of wild dingoes, the island's famous apex predators, watching us with ancient, golden eyes. It's a humbling, beautiful reminder of how wild this island truly remains. But the tides are shifting, and as the water rises to reclaim the sandy highway, we must flee north, to a hidden bay where the wild creatures of the land wait for the dawn to dance with the sea. Leaving the wild dunes of Fraser Island behind, pushing further north along the sweeping, sun-drenched Queensland coast, leading us to a place of pure magic, Cape Hillsborough. It's 5 a.m., and the world is wrapped in a cool, damp silence. You can hear the gentle lap of the tide and smell the salty, ozone-rich air.
We step onto the cold, wet sand, our breath misting in the pre-dawn chill. Then, the sky begins to bleed, shifting from deep violet to a brilliant, burning orange. And just as the first golden rays pierce the horizon, they emerge, silently, slipping out from the dark subtropical forest. A family of wild wallabies and eastern gray kangaroos hops onto the shore. They move with a quiet grace, their dark silhouettes reflected perfectly in the mirror-like wet sand. Look closely. They're foraging, sniffing out morning delicacies of washed-up seaweed and seed pods right at the water's edge. It is an incredibly intimate, almost spiritual spectacle. Just you, the roaring ocean, and these iconic Australian creatures welcoming the new day. But the rising sun reveals a deeper blue on the horizon, inviting us to hoist the sails and navigate an archipelago of 74 emerald jewels.
We've traded those dusty coastal roads for the open ocean, stepping onto the polished teak deck of a classic sailing yacht as we prepare to navigate the crown jewel of the Coral Sea. Welcome to the Whitsunday Islands. Feel that salty breeze catch the canvas as the sails snap tight, pulling us into a dreamscape of 74 tropical islands. Most of these peaks are completely uninhabited, wild, green fortresses rising straight out of the neon blue water. You can hear the hull slicing through the gentle swell, smell the clean, tropical spray, and feel the warm Queensland sun kissing your skin. This is pure, unadulterated freedom. And just ahead, rising out of the turquoise haze, lies the legendary Whitehaven Beach. We drop anchor in the shallows and step off the boat, and instantly your eyes have to adjust. It is blindingly, shockingly bright. This isn't ordinary sand. It's 99% pure silica, so incredibly fine that it squeaks under your feet like powdered sugar. And here's the magic of it. Because of its unique composition, it doesn't retain heat. Even in the baking midday sun, the sand under your bare feet feels incredibly cool, soft, and refreshing. But the real masterpiece is waiting just a short hike away, at the northern end of the beach. We climb up through the lush tropical forest to the hill inlet lookout. And trust me, nothing prepares you for this view. As the tide shifts, the water and the pure white sand fuse together, creating a swirling, ever-changing watercolor painting of turquoise, aquamarine, and deep sapphire blue. It's alive, moving and morphing right before your eyes. A natural masterpiece sculpted by the moon and the sea. You could stand here for hours, just watching the currents dance. But the wind is picking up, and this swirling paradise is just the gateway to the largest living masterpiece on Earth, and an ancient jungle that has survived since the age of the dinosaurs. Leaving the Whitsundays behind, we steer our vessel back to the mainland, trading the yacht for a rugged four-wheel drive to push even further into the wild north of Queensland. We're heading to the ultimate frontier, a spectacular destination where two UNESCO World Heritage wonders literally collide. But first, we're diving into the deep. Welcome to the Great Barrier Reef. This isn't just a reef. It's the largest living structure on our planet, stretching over 2,300 kilometers. So massive it can easily be seen from outer space. slip on your mask, plunge into the warm, salty water, and feel the instant transition into absolute weightlessness. Below us, an explosion of color and life awaits. It is a neon labyrinth, massive boulder corals rising like underwater cities, and soft corals gently swaying in the deep currents. Watch closely. A green sea turtle glides effortlessly past, while schools of brilliant fish dart in synchronized bursts through the sunbeams. It's a fragile, beautiful masterpiece. A beating heart of ocean life that leaves you utterly breathless. But our adventure doesn't end beneath the waves. We dry off, jump back into the rig, and drive right to the very edge of the continent, where the sand gives way to a towering wall of emerald green. Step beneath the canopy of the Daintree. This is the oldest continuously surviving rainforest on Earth, clocking in at an unbelievable 180 million years old. That is nearly 3 times older than the Amazon. Walk along the damp, mossy forest floor and inhale that rich, earthy air, thick with humidity and the sweet scent of wild orchids. It is a primeval wonderland. Huge fan palms spread their circular leaves like giant green umbrellas, filtering the golden sunlight, while the ancient, haunting calls of the rare, prehistoric cassowary echo through the dense undergrowth. We follow the winding Daintree River down to the shoreline. And look at this. It is one of the only places on Earth where 2 World Heritage Sites meet. A place where the ancient jungle literally spills onto the golden sands and kisses the crystal clear waters of the Coral Sea. Absolutely magical. We have touched the edge of the primordial East, but the true wild, the heavy, sun-drenched frontier of the far north, is calling us deeper into the land of the crocodile.
We leave the lush canopy of the Daintree behind, making our way back to Cairns to board a quick domestic flight straight into the wild heart of the north. Destination: Darwin, the tropical capital of the top end. Stepping off the plane, you're instantly hit by a thick, heavy wall of tropical heat. This is a city reborn from the ashes of World War II bombings and the devastating fury of Cyclone Tracy. Today, it's a vibrant, laid-back hub of outdoor life and bustling night markets. But we aren't staying in the city. We pick up our rugged 4-wheel drive, stock up, and hit the bitumen, heading east into the endless horizons. Welcome to Kakadu National Park, Australia's largest terrestrial masterpiece. Spanning a mind-boggling 20,000 square kilometers. As we cross into this ancient land, the savanna woodlands give way to dramatic stone escarpments and vast, shimmering floodplains. The air smells of wet earth and wild paperbark trees. We board a small boat to drift through a silent billabong, choked with floating water lilies. Look closely at the water's edge. There, a massive saltwater crocodile, a living dinosaur, slides silently beneath the glassy surface, while jabiras and sea eagles keep watch from the branches above. It is thrilling and incredibly humbling. But the true soul of Kakadu lies in its deep, spiritual history. We drive to the red sandstone towers of Ubirr. Climbing up the ancient rock, we step into a sacred gallery of Aboriginal rock art. Some paintings dating back tens of thousands of years. Your eyes trace the weathered stone, looking at depictions of ancestral spirits and ancient hunts, painted by the indigenous people who have guarded this land for over 50,000 years. From the ancient floodplains of Kakadu, we pack our gear, turn our rugged 4-wheel drive westward, and cross the border into the ultimate Australian frontier.
the Kimberley. This is a land of jaw-dropping scale, wild, untamed, and beautifully hostile. To truly experience its raw soul, we're tackling the legendary Gibb River Road, over 600 kilometers of unsealed, bone-rattling red dirt track, connecting isolated cattle stations and ancient indigenous communities. With every bounce of the suspension, a thick trail of crimson dust rises behind us, filling the cabin. It is a relentless test of grit, but the rewards are spectacular. We navigate deep river crossings, watching the dry plains give way to massive, sheared sandstone gorges and hidden waterfalls that plunge into cool rock pools. As we near the coast, the landscape shifts into vast mud-sand flats shaped by massive, sweeping tides. There is an overwhelming silence out here, a profound isolation under a wide, unbroken sky. The hot air smells of sun-baked eucalyptus and dry grass, reminding you that this is the very definition of the raw, untamed outback. But as we finally shake the red dust from our wheels and reach the edge of the continent, the harsh interior suddenly yields to a stunning coastal paradise. Welcome to Broome. The historic pearling town on the far western edge of Australia. Here, the desert doesn't just meet the sea, it collides in a visual explosion unlike anything else on Earth. We head south of the town to the secluded shores of Riddell Beach. Walk with me to the edge of these towering, brilliant red cliffs. Look at this. The fiery, iron-rich earth drops straight into the impossibly bright, crystal-clear turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean. The warm breeze carries the salty spray as gentle waves lick the red sand. At sunset, the sky catches fire, painting the cliffs in shades of crimson and gold. A breathtaking finale to our wild crossing. Absolutely magical. The fiery cliffs of Broome mark the edge of the desert. But further down this wild western coast, an ocean giant is waiting to glide beside us in the deep. The sun sinks below the Indian Ocean in Broome, but our journey is far from over. We pack our bags, head to the airport, and board a domestic flight south to Perth, the gateway to Australia's massive, wild western coast. From here, we grab a rugged four-wheel drive and head straight back north, driving along a coastal highway where empty, sun-bleached roads stretch to the horizon. Our target? The spectacular UNESCO-listed Ningaloo Reef. Unlike the Great Barrier Reef on the east, Ningaloo is incredibly accessible. You literally step off the powdery white sand, plunge into the crystal clear, warm turquoise water, and you're instantly floating over a vibrant coral garden. But the real magic happens further out in the deep blue. Take a deep breath, plunge under the surface, and look. Swimming right alongside you is a gentle giant of the ocean. A massive 15-meter whale shark, its dark skin dotted with beautiful constellations of white spots. Beside it, giant manta rays glide effortlessly through the currents like majestic underwater birds. It is a deeply humbling, heart-pounding encounter with wild nature that will leave you absolutely breathless. But this wild western coast has one more surprise for us. We trace our tracks back south to Perth, one of the most isolated capital cities on the entire globe, framed by the Indian Ocean on one side and endless desert on the other.
Despite its deep remoteness, Perth beats with a relaxed, incredibly modern energy. To truly take it all in, we head to Kings Park, one of the largest urban parks on the planet. Walk with me along the elevated canopy walkways, breathing in the rich scent of wild eucalyptus and blooming wildflowers. As the golden hour hits, the city's stunning skyline of glass towers begins to glow, reflecting beautifully off the winding Swan River below. It's the perfect blend of wild wilderness and urban beauty. We have conquered the edges of the continent, but to truly understand its soul, we must plunge directly into its burning, silent heart, where a colossal red giant dominates the earth.
As the modern skyline of Perth fades behind us, we board a domestic flight, heading straight into the burning, desolate heart of Australia, the legendary Red Centre. Stepping off the plane, you are instantly hit by a thick, dry wall of heat and the unmistakable earthy scent of sun-baked dust. This is the Outback, a vast, silent wilderness where the ground itself glows like rust. We jump into our four-wheel drive and head down the empty highway, watching the flat, endless horizon stretch to infinity. Until, rising dramatically from the desert floor, appears Uluru. At 350 meters high, this colossal sandstone monolith is the absolute spiritual heart of Australia, a deeply sacred sanctuary guarded by the Anangu people. To truly experience its power, we wait for the golden hour. As the sun begins to sink, the magic begins. Watch closely. The minerals in the ancient stone react to the fading light, shifting before your eyes from a dusty ochre to a brilliant, burning orange, and finally, a deep, glowing crimson in the quiet desert evening. It is a profound, silent spectacle that leaves you utterly speechless. But our journey into the deep outback is far from over. We drive further west, toward a landscape that feels even more otherworldly. Kata Juta. Here, 36 colossal, rounded domes rise like giant red guardians from the sand. We lace up our boots and hike deep into the rocky gorges. As we enter the narrow, towering passages, the fierce desert heat suddenly vanishes, replaced by a surprisingly cool, whispering breeze. Tough, wild green vegetation clings to the sheer canyon walls, a hidden oasis thriving against the odds. Standing in the shadow of these massive stone giants, listening to the ancient wind howl through the ravines, you feel a deep physical connection to a land unchanged for millions of years. It's a powerful, humbling reminder of the raw majesty of the Red Centre. From this burning, ancient red heart, we escape south, toward a cooler, more elegant realm where the red soil yields some of the finest nectar on Earth. Leaving the ancient dust of the Red Centre behind, we board a quick domestic flight south, trading the rugged wilderness for a world of refined elegance. Welcome to Adelaide. A gorgeous, sun-drenched capital nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling gulf. The moment you step onto its spacious boulevards, you feel an incredible sense of harmony. Unlike other sprawling metropolises, Adelaide was designed in a perfect, orderly grid, completely encircled by a massive green ring of lush parklands. As we wander along the peaceful River Torrens, the air is crisp, carrying the sweet scent of blooming roses. Look around. Stunning Victorian architecture and stately stone structures stand proudly beside modern, trendy cafes, a beautiful nod to the English colonists who founded this tidy paradise in 1836. But the ultimate indulgence lies just beyond the city limits. We jump into our car and drive an hour north.
watching the urban landscape dissolve into rolling golden hills. We've arrived in the legendary Barossa Valley. The undisputed heart of Australian Shiraz. Instantly, you'll feel a distinct European charm. In the 19th century, German immigrants settled these fertile lands, leaving behind a rich legacy of quaint stone cottages and incredible culinary traditions. We pull into a historic estate, the air thick with the rich, oaky aroma of aging barrels. Let's pour a glass of their world-famous bold Shiraz. Take a sip. It is rich, velvety, and bursting with dark plum and peppery spice. A perfect, delicious end to an unforgettable day. But our thirst for the wild cannot be quenched by wine alone. Just off the southern coast lies a raw, windswept sanctuary where nature still holds absolute power. Leaving the sweet aromas of the Barossa behind, we head south toward the rugged cliffs of the Fleurieu Peninsula. Here, we board the ferry to cross the restless and deep blue waters as we journey toward a true, isolated paradise. This is Kangaroo Island. Step ashore and you'll instantly feel the wild, untouched energy of this natural sanctuary. It's a place where Australian wildlife still reigns supreme. We tread softly into the fragrant eucalyptus forests. Look up. Nestled high up in the branches is a sleepy, wild koala, while a quirky, spiky echidna rustles through the dry undergrowth below. Down on the coast, the air is thick with the ocean's roar, as a bustling colony of fur seals play and lounge on the wave-battered rocks. But the ultimate, jaw-dropping spectacle lies at the island's windswept western edge, inside the rugged wilderness of Flinders Chase National Park. Prepare yourself to behold the remarkable rocks. These colossal, gravity-defying granite boulders sit perched atop a massive dome, sculpted over millions of years by the relentless southern wind and biting sea salt. Their hollowed-out, twisted orange shapes look like modern art pieces left behind by ancient giants. Stand here. Listen to the fierce southern gales howl through the stone arches, and capture a photo that feels completely out of this world. It's raw, it's majestic, and it is absolutely unforgettable. Having stood on the edge of these wind-swept cliffs, we set our sights on the cultural capital of the South, and a road carved by hand into the very cliffside of the ocean. Leaving the wind-swept wilderness of Kangaroo Island behind, we catch a quick domestic flight, watching the rugged coastline melt away as we soar toward Australia's beating cultural heart, Melbourne. Step off the plane and you'll instantly feel a totally different energy. Here, elegant Victorian architecture stands side by side with exploding canvases of modern life. Wander down Hosier Lane, hear the faint hiss of spray cans, and touch the textured walls of world-class street art, before pulling up a stool at a cozy cafe for the best flat white of your life. But the call of the wild is too powerful to ignore. We grab our rental keys, jump behind the wheel, and head southwest, onto one of the most legendary drives on Earth, the Great Ocean Road. Roll down your windows. Breathe in the cool, salty ocean breeze mixed with the sweet, herbal scent of eucalyptus. We wind through daily temperate rainforests and high coastal cliffs. The horizon suddenly breaks open, and there they are, rising majestically from the roaring swells of the Southern Ocean, the 12 Apostles. These colossal, cream and gold limestone stacks stand like ancient sentinels, carved over millions of years by the fierce, relentless power of the sea. Stand on the edge of the viewing platform, feel the sea spray on your skin, and listen to the thunderous waves crash against the cliffs below. Though only 8 of these magnificent giants still stand, watching them glow brilliant orange as the sun dips below the horizon is a cinematic moment that will stay etched in your soul forever.
As the last glow of the 12 apostles fades behind us, we guide our wheels one final time along the winding coastline, making our way back. There is a bittersweet weight in shaking the red dust from our boots and preparing for the long flight home. But as the engines roar to life and the ground falls away, a cinematic reel of this impossible continent begins to play in our minds. We look down through the window, tracing the vastness of a land that defies every rule of nature. We feel the searing, dry heat of the red center once more, watching the colossal monolith of Uluru burn brilliant crimson under a setting sun. We remember the absolute silence of the Outback, that massive, wild heart dominating 70% of this isolated continent, where the red earth seems to stretch into infinity. Then, the sudden, intoxicating shift. The thick, humid air of the Daintree Rainforest, where prehistoric canopy meets the turquoise waters of the Coral Sea. We plunge back beneath the waves of the Great Barrier Reef, drifting over 2,300 kilometers of vibrant, breathing coral, swimming alongside sea turtles and gentle giants of the deep. Australia is a beautiful paradox. It is a place where hyper-modern, cosmopolitan cities like Sydney and Melbourne rise along storm-swept coasts. Yet just beyond the concrete, 50 million kangaroos and unique creatures roam free. And woven through it all is the deepest spirit of this land, the world's oldest living culture. The Aboriginal people, who for over 65,000 years have guarded the sacred song lines of this ancient earth. As we fly toward the horizon, this wild, majestic country leaves a permanent mark on your soul. It is a place that changes you, whispering its ancient secrets long after the red dust has cleared from your eyes. A world of endless horizons, waiting forever for your return.